Is your business actually profitable, or are you just running a very busy business? There's a huge difference between making money and actually turning a profit in your business. And today we're going to talk about that. And small disclaimer, I wasn't always the best at this. There was a time in my life where I was making good money, but I was also spending all of the money and I thought my prices were right, but they weren't. This episode isn't necessarily about your pricing, but it is about the bigger picture of running a profitable business. So have a listen and let me know what you think. Hello, and welcome to the FastForwardAmy Show, the show where we lift your life and business with simple strategies. I'm FastForwardAmy, your host and coach, and I'll bring you a new episode every Tuesday. Back in my fitness days, I was coaching people at home first, and after a while, I kan opnieuw beginnen. Back in my fitness days, which is a long time ago now, I was originally coaching people in their own homes. And it wasn't until after a while, when I had a good client roster, that I opened up my own private studio. And I was making good money, in my opinion. I was making like $3,000 a month, and I was doing well when all my clients were there. I was working so hard, but okay. And I mean, I thought I was making good money. Turns out I actually wasn't making good money because I was working from like 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. I was charging way too little, but at the time I had such imposter syndrome, and I wanted to avoid changing my prices and telling my clients, and I couldn't see how I could raise my prices, that I just thought, you know, what I signed up for is what it's going to be now, because people have fixed appointments with me. This is the price they signed up for. I can't possibly go and increase that price point now. But I didn't really realize it. But it wasn't until, I was coaching a lot of fairly wealthy clients that one of my wealthy clients actually asked me like, hey, Amy, are you sure your prices are right now that you've moved here and your costs are also higher? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, wait, is he right? Now, I haven't always been great with criticism, and I took this as criticism. I was like, yes, my prices are right. Turns out my prices were shit. I was so off because my prices were calculated based on a time where I was just happy to make a little bit of extra money as like a side hustle thing. But I didn't have a studio. I wasn't taking myself seriously. I didn't have a bunch of certificates that I had by the time that all of this happened. So a lot had changed in a short amount of time, and I had gained a lot of experience, and the demand for my services were insanely high, and I only had a limited amount of hours to give. And my client was actually right. My prices were too low, but I hadn't realized it because I was like, I started it with this, so I need to keep it at that. And my costs went up and up, and I hadn't realized that it wasn't good that all of the money I was making was also going out every month. But that was the situation I was in. Every month I was making money, but all of the money got spent too, and at the end of the month there was no money left. So in the end, my client was right, and if I would go back to that time, I would advise a few things to my younger self to change. I want to preface this by saying a lot of people think you just need to set insanely high prices. No, there needs to, or ideally, there's a logic behind your prices. I'm at a point in my career now where I can say whatever. I can be like, I want 10,000 euros for an hour of coaching. If I want that, I could do that because I have gained a lot of experience and authority. Now, I don't do that because I am currently not focused or not getting energy from one-on-one coaching. I get energy from coaching many people at once, or from creating a podcast for many people at once, or from coaching a bunch of people in a group, like what I'm doing in my business summer school now. That gives me so much energy. I get to create something. I get to help a bunch of people. That's what I want to be doing. Guess what? I'm doing that for free even. So for me, I'm not so focused anymore on hourly rate right now in my business, but what I am focused on is, okay, we have a bunch of fixed costs every month. Our yearly total of like employee wages and all of that is that amount. I want to create a financial buffer. I also want to make a profit, and maybe, I don't know, all the things I want to do. And I want to hit this financial target for this year. That's how I do it now, but I don't have an hourly rate for myself anymore. I did used to have an hourly rate for myself for a very long time, and that is where I kind of messed up. In the beginning, my time was worth nothing. So when I made 30 euros an hour compared to nothing, that was really great. But then my costs started going up. I had a studio. I had all of the material I was buying for my clients. I was investing in learning more and more. And I did have a lot higher costs, but I was still pretending like it was 30 euros or my time was just worth nothing. It wasn't like that anymore. So the first thing you could do for yourself is you can actually calculate your hourly rates, and you can do that based on your costs. So I actually have this on my website. Maybe my team can look it up. I want to say it's my podcast number 4 or 5. So if you go to fastforwardamy.com/005, let me check this as I'm recording. 005. Who's faster, my team or me? Ha ha ha. I am faster. They're not smiling now. If you go to fastforwardamy.com/005, you find an entire article where I outline how you can calculate your hourly rate. Shit. And I've also included a guide there. And I'm not going to pitch that guide here, but I will link up the article. So go ahead and check that out. There's a step-by-step. So basically what you want to know is you want to know what is your time worth. And that is calculated based on your costs, because you need to know what you need to be hitting in order to cover all of your costs. And funnily enough, I actually did do this exercise a few weeks ago for myself after like a few years of not doing it, because I didn't put a price on my time anymore. And I did it because I was starting to feel like maybe some of my time wasn't being spent as useful as it had to be. So I took my goal of my revenue, my 3 million revenue goal for this year, and then I went back and pretended like I'm the only person making this amount of money, and looking at how many days I work, what my time is worth, and how much my business should be generating in money every day. And I looked at what am I doing on days, and is that actually helping my team and helping the business getting to that amount. Let me tell you, it was not pretty. But it is always good to do the math, because then it forces you to have a really good look at how are you spending your time, and is it useful for your business. A lot of people think from their ego, like, is it good for me? Do I like what I'm doing? But you also just need to be looking at, am I doing the right things for my business? So I wasn't really being profitable, but I thought I was, because I was making a lot of money because I was used to not having any money. That's what happened there. And then I realized, oh my God, I am making money, but I'm spending all of the money. And that is because my costs are too high. What I would do going back is say, okay, calculate your hourly rate based on the fast forward formula that you can find through the link I just said, fastforwardamy.com/005. You need to take into account your monthly expenses, your quarterly expenses, your taxes, all of that shit is in there. I also have a course, by the way, with a calculator. You can find it in my shop. We have a Fast Forward shop with a bunch of like mini products and courses and templates. I have a template with a tutorial on how you can do that. You can just find it in my shop under courses. The second thing that I would ask someone if they're wondering, hey, am I actually being profitable, or is my business just really busy and am I making money but not a profit? Is, are you actually hitting your target with what you're offering? And what I mean by that is, too often we're like, oh, I have this one thing and I think this is a great idea and I'm going to sell it and I'm going to spend all of my time on it. But even if you would spend all of your time on it and you would sell all the pieces, you would still not hit your revenue targets. And that's just stupid. So imagine I was spending all of my time during my fitness coaching days on coaching people one-on-one, hour per hour. And I had a 10,000 euro per month goal because that's what I wanted to hit. For the amount I was charging and the hours I had in a week, take into account I was also studying at the time, I would have never been able to hit that target. And that's where a lot of people just have a gap, is they have what they're doing now and what they're offering. They have where they want to go, but they don't see that what they have isn't going to get them to where they want to go. It's like, can I make a sexual metaphor out of this? Probably can't, probably shouldn't. But it's like, I don't know how this works with chemistry, but if you have zero chemistry with someone, a lot of people have, it's like, oh, my best friend, wish we had chemistry. We don't. You want really great sex, but you have zero chemistry. It's not going to happen because your bodies are just not attuned to each other. Can you change that, guys? My team is like, we don't know, Amy. These are not appropriate questions. Maybe someone can reply to the podcast and let us know if you can go from zero chemistry to amazing six. But you kind of get what I was saying, right? So that's the same. If you have an offer with a certain price point and you have a revenue target, you do have to check with the amount of time I have, with the resources I have, if I would sell out, would I be able to hit my target? Unfortunately, most of the time that is not the case. And I'll explain to you why that is. It's because a lot of people start with a cheap product. Let's say the product costs 30 euros and they want to make, let's say, 10,000 euros a month. And I know some people are like, ooh, the 10,000 euros a month thing is such a stupid target. Whatever, Nancy. If you want to make 10K a month, let's go and get you that 10K a month. But let's imagine you want to make 10K a month. That would mean at a product of 30 euros that you would need to sell 333 pieces. Holy shit. And that means that if we divide that through 30 days, imagining you work 30 days a month, which is too much, you would have to sell 11 pieces a day, or the equivalent of 11 hours of coaching someone a day. You will never be able to survive that. You will work yourself into the ground. You will not find the leads. You will not get the sales. So that's where the gap is. The gap is between the price point and where you want to go and the fact that your core offer is not lining up. And what I believe in for your business, that if you want to make it profitable, is that your core offer, the one main thing you're offering, if you have products, it could be the type of product. If you have services, it could be your package or your hourly rate or whatever. The one core thing you offer should be able to get you to your revenue goal. Because otherwise, you're going to need all kinds of different things to hit your revenue goal. So you're never going to be focused on one thing. So you're going to be focused on many things at once, which means you're not focused, because that's like the opposite of focus, and you won't hit your goal. So that also means when you want to do something new, I see this with a lot of my beauty clients do this really well, actually. I have a lot of clients in the beauty industry, and then they will buy a new really expensive machine for like skin treatments, and they will calculate, okay, if I do this many treatments with this machine within that time, I will have paid for the machine and I can make the entire decent amount of revenue with the machine. That's really great. What you don't want to do is be like, I buy the machine and then we'll see, or not thinking ahead, or like it makes a lot of sense to look at making sure that you, with less time, you can actually hit your revenue target. So make sure there is not a gap, because this means if you would be working, for example, at 30 euros an hour, and you would be in a position where you need to or want to make 10K a month, that it is not possible, at least not in the beginning if you don't have the volume. So what you can change there is, obviously, you could look at different price points, different tiers, like you want a higher tier product, more things for the same people, higher average order value, all kinds of different things. I'm actually hosting a session on that, on how to become a profit pro, so making sure you are turning a profit. And I'm hosting that in my business summer school. So if you would want to join me, you can go and have a look through fastforwardamy.com/buzz. I linked it up in the description. We're going to be talking about how you can set up a profitable product suite for yourself so that you never fall into this trap anymore of doing a bunch of things and actually not hitting your revenue goal because it was already implied in your product suite. So my question for you is your business profitable, or are you just busy in your business and making money but not a profit? Let's look at your hourly rate so you also know what your opportunity cost is. What I mean is, like, if you know what your day is worth, what I did for myself, I also know when I'm spending my days on working on the wrong stuff or not doing the right things. Look at, is your offer actually going to get you to your revenue? Is it physically feasible, basically? And then kind of aligned with that, I have another question for you is, are you maybe confusing? Because I have this principle, it's when you confuse, you lose. It's like in sales, when you offer way too many things at once, when you confuse your clients, you're going to lose. They're not going to buy anything. But when you are confusing yourself, when you're product hopping from one thing to another and constantly doing different things, it's not just that your clients won't know what to buy from you, it's also that you are just doing too much at once, which makes you lose focus. There's a reason that every morning I do my Fast Forward 15 episode. No, I just lied. Full blank on camera. I don't do this exercise every morning. I could slap myself in the face because I don't do it every morning. It's such a good exercise. It's an exercise I want to do every morning that really helps me. It's when I brainstorm for 15 minutes. I teach my clients this, and I look at my 3 biggest targets and I brainstorm about options, things I could do to hit those targets. So if I would do this exercise every morning and I'd be like, I have this goal and this product and this product and this product and there is another one, I would never hit all of those goals. Same goes for my team. If they don't have a clear focus, they're not going to hit their goals. So this is actually also something I did 2 nights ago. I was on the plane. Everyone was sleeping. I was not sleeping. I love being on the plane. I know my assistant was like, wow, you're so high energy. We need to put you on a plane more often. Because I get so much done and have so much white space. I told her, the rest of the team has said the same thing. Amy on a plane is usually really good because I get so much done and I get to zoom out. And I was zooming out and I was like, So I wanted 3 million in revenue this year. I have made a really fucked up, super complicated plan. This won't work. Not only is my team going to be confused, my audience is going to be confused, I am confused. I don't even know what my goals are anymore. And it just doesn't work. When I'm confusing, when I'm focused on too many things at once, I lose. Now, the thing is, I'm so multi-passionate. I love doing so many things. I love, the hype, the high sensation seeking. I love all the different things. But that doesn't matter for your business. I see you. I hear you. I know you want to do new things. I know you have many ideas. But not every idea you have, not every content idea you have needs to be another product. Not everything you want to do needs to be another session you host or a lead magnet you create. If you want to make content about something, make content. It doesn't always have to all turn into a separate product. I see this with people who have who have many ideas and you're like, I'm going to turn this into a separate business. Stop. It's not because you have an idea that you need a whole separate business or a whole separate brand. Don't overcomplicate stuff. Keep it stupid simple. That's the KISS principle. Keep it stupid simple. So, are you confusing yourself by doing too many things at once? I sure as hell have been. I am slip, slicing. It's making it very clear right now. Because when I make it clear, it's clear for my team, it's clear for the outside world. And guess what? I was like, I'm making it clear. I want to help 10,000 people to financial independence this summer. Bam! Within 24 hours, 1,500 people had already signed up. Amazing. It is amazing what happens when you are very clearly focused on one thing. By the way, I lied again. It wasn't 1,500 people in 24 hours. It was 1,600 people. It's amazing. So, are you confusing yourself with your goals and all things you want to do? Hey, your life is hopefully still long. You can do things next year and the year after, and you can write it all in a book. You can already make content about stuff, but not all of your ideas need to be a product, because let's go backwards a step. You need to make sure that the one thing you're doing, your main thing, your core offer, is actually covering your costs and actually giving you a profit, ideally. Truth bombs all over. By the way, last time I recorded a podcast, I was sitting in a sofa seat, and now I'm sitting at my desk again in my studio. I actually want to build a studio in my basement, so I'm gonna be posting about that on my Instagram. You should definitely come and have a look. I have no idea yet how I'm gonna do it, but I'm building a studio in my basement. It's gonna be cool. I felt really comfortable last time in the chair, and I was like, oh, I want to record there, but it actually had nothing to do with where I was sitting. It has to do with the fact that I'm creating content that I'm really proud of, and I am in flow, and I love what I'm doing, and I really want to help you. And that brings me to my last point of this episode, which is an energy check. Maybe you are profitable, but you are running yourself into the ground. Maybe you are burning yourself out because you are not working in alignment with who you are. I am not the person who will record picture perfect episodes. I am also not the person apparently who will start on time with podcast episodes, because guess what? I have 2 businesses to run, teams to support, be a team leader, all of that stuff. My podcasts are not going to be perfect. They're never going to be perfect. I'm never going to get there. You might have stuff you want to be doing, but that you're not doing because you are spending all of your time on keeping your business afloat on the one thing that might be giving you the profits and covering your costs, but you might actually hate what you're doing. For me, I love this. I might have had a difficult morning before this. I am loving recording this episode. I'm proud of this episode. I mean, I don't know what I said, but I hope it was good. But for you, let's do that energy check. How do you feel about your business? Because maybe you're making a shit ton of money, but you don't feel good. What does that say you? That does that tell you? My English is just going downhill. Good thing my Italian is getting better. I would rather speak multiple language, all fairly decently, than only speak 2 languages perfectly. I know for my American audience that already sounds wild if you can speak 2 languages, but I think that's always funny. As Belgians, especially as Flemish people, I have this theory. I don't know if it's right, but I have a theory that because we have been overruled by other countries so often in our history, we are used to adapting to other people. So it's funny, if you live in Flanders, I don't know, and you walk down the street in Antwerp and someone will pass you by and they will talk to you in French, you will say bonjour back in French, although we are in a Dutch-speaking city. Flemish people are just used to adjusting. Had nothing to do with the rest of this episode. But yeah, the energy check. There is no use in running a business that is profitable, but that is making you unhappy as fuck, because you actually probably don't need as much money to be actually good or happy, and more money isn't going to make you happy. So let's look at that. For me, at a certain point, it wasn't about the hourly rate anymore. It was just about the fact that I didn't want to do fitness coaching for the rest of my life, and I was made to be a business coach and a coach first and foremost. Fitness was a passion. It was gone. It was time for me to change. But I thought I had to stick with it because I'd made a choice. But you don't have to stick with anything. If you go and work for someone else, you're also not going to be doing the same job for the rest of your life. Probably. So who said that you have to keep doing the same thing the rest of your life at the same price point with the same clients forever and ever because you said it once? No, you are always allowed to change things. So be that your price, be that what you're offering, your niche, you're allowed to change. By the way, I think because I already feel the question coming up, like, how do I tell people about my price change? I recorded an episode about that. I think it was last summer in August that I released it. Maybe my team can go ahead and look it up. How to increase your prices or something is what it's called. By the way, if you're ever listening to the podcast and you hear me say something like, oh, I have an episode about that, the way I do this is I go to my website, so FastForwardAmy.com, and I just type in the title, like increase prices, and then on the website I can find the article that's linked. So if you go to the website, you can find the article, and then there's also the link to the podcast episode, because for every podcast episode we write an article. Like for this one, 91, it's episode 91. So fastforwardamy.com/91 is how to communicate to your clients that you're increasing your prices, which is probably something that's going to be necessary. But please, for the love of God, don't just increase your prices when you have a shitty service, because so many people do that and it drives me like crazy. I've really managed to be a bitch throughout this episode. Promise you, I'm not a bitch. I don't want you to be unhappy, and I don't want you to not pay yourself well. And there's a very thin balance between giving a good service and offering good products, but also just supporting yourself. And remember that if you don't take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of other people. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not able to take care of your business. If you don't take care of yourself, and you cannot take care of your business because of that, your business won't be able to take care of its clients. So you need to always make sure that that energy is in balance. And this was, for me, what I was talking about earlier in my fitness days. This happened. A friend of mine said, hey, it sounds to me like you have an energy imbalance. And I was like, energy? I'm just overworked. She was like, yeah, if you are working that many hours and you're still also stressed about money at certain times, but you have like a full client roster, it sounds to me like you're not getting enough energy back. And I was like, no, but I love what I do. She's like, yeah, you can love what you do, but there is still energy missing, and this is monetary energy. And I was like, oh, you're so right. Money is also energy, and sometimes you just need to get paid more for the thing that you're doing, and that could fix it. For me, it was also my passion, and my passion lies in coaching people in business. But do the energy check for yourself. If you would be getting double the amount of money that you're getting right now for what you're doing, would you want to be doing it or not? Usually, for the people I coach, passion is such a big thing. Money actually doesn't have too much to do with it. But for you, it could be that there's just a tiny money gap, and maybe just a few less hours and a bit more money could actually fix the energy for you when it's such a drastic problem. So yeah, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I am hosting a business summer school this summer. the coolest part is it's totally free only this summer before August 31st. And we are teaching people about how you can take your next steps towards financial independence. It's all in Dutch this time around. It's like a little test that we're doing. We're turning it into a paid product afterwards. But if you join during the summer and you sign up, you get all of the sessions for free. Anything you join and watch before the end of the summer. We're doing 9 a.m. check-ins. We're doing a bunch of things to keep you motivated, because summertime for so many people is like, oh, I'm just gonna do fuck all nothing. Summertime for us in the Fast Forward business is we are gonna help you achieve your biggest results this summer, and we're doing that every morning. So you don't start your day with the news. You don't start your day with a bunch of social media shit. I've been swearing so much in this episode. We start your day by just, positivity, by looking at your independence. We're looking at goal setting. And right now the next sessions are going to be about how you can become a profit pro. That means how you can create your own profitable product suite and can make sure that your business is actually set up for success so that you can make money and actually make a profit instead of just revenue that is all going towards all of your costs. So come and have a look. Maybe it's something for you. If you're listening later on, even if you're English speaking, we will make sure that there's a few redirects for you as well. We have some other resources that might help you out right now. So the link is fastforwardamy.com/bus. After it's like when it's not free anymore, you can get it at a paid price. So if you're listening later, go and check it out. If it sounds like something you need, so that thing that to take charge of your financial future and become financially independent with our Fast Forward principles, go and check it out through fastforwardamy.com/bus. This was me, Amy van de Putte from Fast Forward Amy. I'm back with a new episode every Tuesday. Let me know how you liked it. Despite all of the swearing and shit, I'm a very sensitive person, and I would actually really love it if you could leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. I actually want to read the reviews on camera. I always forget, but I'm going to do it in the next episode. So leave me a little review on Apple Podcasts if you want to, or share the episode to your Instagram stories. I would greatly appreciate that, and talk to you next week. Or if you're interested in setting big goals but you're afraid to set big goals, go and listen to the previous episode, because there we talk about what if you're afraid to set big goals, what will happen, and how can you break through that. Go and have a listen, and talk soon. Bye.